Hey, I'm Leah Smith, and welcome to my genre study. After looking at my classroom library, it was obvious to me that I needed to incorporate more math literature in my classroom library. I have a love of children's literature, and I do really well incorporating and writing workshop and in science, even with nonfiction books, and in history and geography, and of course reading great literature. But there was a huge blank in the math department, and so I really wanted to work on that in my classroom library. The first book that I want to talk about that's part of my genre study is the book called Mouse Shapes. It's by the award-winning author and illustrator Ellen Stoll-Wash. And this book may look familiar to some of you because she's written two other popular books in children's literature, Mouse Colors and Mouse Counting. Of course, Mouse Counting is a great math book also, but I really wanted to use this one because at the beginning of the year in the lower elementary grades, I always try to make sure that the children know their shapes before moving on. And I love the open-endedness of this book. In this book, the mouses, start to use their own shapes to form different pictures, and they can come up with some really neat pictures using their shapes. And I thought that this would lend itself so well to a K-4 or kindergarten class, and I just knew the children would have fun with it. When I decided to do my own extension with this, I used it with my 4- and 3-year-old. We read the book and we talked about the shapes that the mice made, and then I had a bunch of different shapes in all different colors cut out and spread on the table for them to explore with. Now keep in mind my children are 4 and 3, so they're even younger than most of the children in kindergarten. But this is one picture that my kindergartner came up with. He used rectangles for the grass. This is a row of houses. Squares and a rectangle and triangles of different size, and he even added the chimneys. And I thought that that was a really cute and smart way to incorporate the shapes. My 3-year-old, who was a young 3, did his macaroni penguin. He used rectangles to make the spike and the penguin. He added a beak, and he made sure that the penguin had feet, and these are the penguin's flappers. And so that was one that a 3-year-old did. So you can imagine how detailed maybe a kindergarten or first grader, how detailed their pictures may be. Here's another one that a 4-year-old did. This is a mouse shape extension, and it's a boy with an ice cream cone. And I loved his hair and all the different shapes. Here's a 3-year-old, so a younger child did this one. He said it was super wide, but it's definitely a person with legs and eyes. And of course, in the classroom I would probably encourage them to add some arms. And here is another one that they did. This is a present, a birthday present. So I thought they did really well, and it was definitely appropriate for even the 3-year-old. I then did some samples of math journal pages because I thought a great way to further this lesson would be to have them write down what they made and the shapes they used in their math journal. So looking back at his macaroni penguin, a simple way to journal this would be to say that he used 2 circles, and I thought that one student may just do a circle and the number 2, or they may just draw 2 circles. And then they could say they used 3 triangles, 2 rectangles, 2 squares, and then a more advanced math student may even be able to add all the shapes up and know that they used 9 shapes. Another example of a journal page is this one that I did with a row of houses. Maybe if they weren't familiar with the equal sign, but they actually write out the words and the names of the shapes, which would be great for a 1st or 2nd grader, especially if the shape words were vocabulary words or sight words that they needed to know. So then you're incorporating so much in just this one book. So that is the extension that I would choose to use with the book Mouse Shapes. Going on, I'm now going to talk about my favorite children's author, so you'll know how passionate I am about this author once I get started. His name is Mo Willems. He is hilarious. All of his books are so funny. And the name of this book is Knuffle Bunny 2, A Case of Mistaken Identity. Mo Willems has won countless awards, including the Caldecott Award. He is also famous for the pigeon books that use speech bubbles, and that is another great book that my students love. And so I always do an author study of Mo Willems. And this was one book I didn't have by him, and so I thought, what a great addition to my classroom library. I can use it for my author study, and it can also be a great math book as well. And all of Mo Willems' Knuffle Bunny books, he actually adds drawings into real-life pictures. So you can really see where the book takes place, and I really think it does a great job in capturing students' attention. And again, these books also have the speech bubbles like the pigeon books. And whenever I start reading Mo Willems' books, my children's writing just takes a whole new shape, and they start using speech bubbles for the first time, and that's a lot of fun to see. In the book, Knuffle Bunny 2, Trixie, who is actually based on Mo Willems' own daughter, takes her one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny to school for the first time. She's entering kindergarten, and she's so excited because she's taking her Knuffle Bunny to school to show everybody. And so she's running to school, and she's telling her dad all the people that she's going to show her special one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny to. Except when she gets to school, Trixie realizes something, and you can see her eyes when she saw a girl across the room named Sonia. And when she saw Sonia, look at what was in Sonia's hand. Another one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny. So Trixie and Sonia getting a little bit of a argument on the correct pronunciation of Knuffle Bunny first thing in the school morning. And so after they argue some, their Knuffle Bunnies were taken away by the teacher. It comes to find out that the girls get the Knuffle Bunnies after school to take back home. And Trixie has her normal night routine with her Knuffle Bunny. And during the night, Trixie realizes something again. And she realizes that that is not her Knuffle Bunny. And so at 2:30 in the morning, her parents wake up. They have to go make the swap in the middle of the night in New York City to get her Knuffle Bunny back. And then all as well ends well. I love the last illustration of the dads taking the two girls back to school the next morning after they've made the swap. Trixie and Sonia's dad is shown, and they both have their, the hair on their face where they haven't shaved from the night before. So it really has a lot of elements, and it's so funny.